here I am live on Jean's blog, and here I'm going to answer some questions that she sent me. Tell me a bit about yourself. Where do you live and what do you do when you're not writing? I live in a small Swiss village. It's small, but we have everything we need. It's got a restaurant and a supermarket and a scuba diving shop, because why not? And what do I do when I'm not writing? Well, I dedicate all my time to writing these days, unless I'm out walking the pug or off out on my bike somewhere. And the next question, always a Welsh one. As someone born and bred in Wales, do you feel hiraeth sometimes? That's a Welsh word meaning a kind of homesickness, nostalgia, sense of loss, a bit like the Portuguese word saudade. Do I feel? I don't, actually. Truthfully, I don't. I'm not the kind of person to look back at the past, probably because I'm too scared of missing something in the present. Your wonderful Beatrice Stubbs solves mysteries across Europe, and that's one of the reasons I binge read the series. I always wanted to travel. You bring places to life with so much insider detail. Your new psychological thriller Wolf Tones is set in Salzburg, Austria. Can you tell us why you chose this setting and how you create an authentic sense of place in your writing? Thank you, Jean. That's a wonderful compliment. I love to travel too. And setting each book in the series in a new location was a brilliant excuse to go and do some research, i.e. drink wine and eat cheese. But the coronavirus stopped me from travelling anywhere, and I couldn't go to Salzburg in person. But then I found out that one of my favourite books, The Tenderness of Wolves by Steph Penny, is set in Canada. She'd never been there. So I thought, how hard can it be to create the sense of place without actually visiting the place? And how do I create it? Well, for me, a sense of place is all about the senses. It's all about a sensory experience. What does the train station smell like? How strong is the coffee? And is it difficult to circumnavigate the pavements in high heels because of the cobblestones, that kind of thing? And the next question, after watching the series Mozart in the Jungle, I haven't seen that. I'm fascinated by the tensions in an orchestra and the price of success. We've all seen how easily a coach can become a tyrant, whether in the music business or in the Olympics. Your cellist character, Rolf in Wolf Tones, is totally dominated by his charismatic mentor. What drew you to this theme, and how difficult did you find it to enter into such a toxic relationship while writing? That's a dense one. Okay, well, I spent many years working in the theatre, encountering actors, ballet companies, orchestras and other ensembles. And there's a strange dynamic when you join an established unit, which can unsettle an imbalanced mind. So the book is about Rolf's uncertainty, his yearning to sort of cling to the familiar, but also to develop as a musician and a man. I think the toxic relationship that you mentioned is probably more apparent to the reader than it is to Rolf. And Jean's next question is, who is your ideal reader? I once interviewed Christos Tsiolkas, the author of The Slap, and I asked him the same question. And he said, and I love this, literature is a gift, so I write for the most sensitive, intelligent, inquiring, open-minded reader there is. I can't really add to that. The next question is, if you could wave a magic wand and change something about your career, what would it be? Write faster. Oh, and don't use the word back so often. What's been the hardest thing for you to overcome in becoming a published author? Who or what has helped you most in the process? The hardest thing to overcome was the courage to go it alone. But I didn't actually have to go it alone. When I first began publishing, I co-founded an author collective called Triskill Books. And there I got feedback from 4 editors, including my brilliant cover designer, J.D. Smith. Their help was huge. And so was Ali, the Alliance of Independent Authors. The Wolf here in Zurich, that's a group of writers who come together to do workshops and socialise and so on. And I guess my tireless husband, he handles all the marketing, and he's supported my writing right from the get-go. And I'm going to stop now because it sounds like a Oscar acceptance speech. If you could pick one character in your books to spend some time with, who would it be and why? I've had this question before, and in Human Rights, which is book 5 in the Beatrice Stubbs series, there is a farty husky called Mink, and I think she and I would get along just fine. What's next for J J Marsh? Well, several things at once, actually. As well as Wolf Tones being my second psychological thriller, I'm also writing a second series. This is called Run and Hide. I've published the first one called White Heron, and I've just finished the first draft of the second one, which is called Black River. It's all set in the Amazonas at Rio Negro, in a little wooden canoe. Well, not all of it is in the canoe, obviously, but yeah, that's what I'm working on right now. And where can we find you? You can find me at jjmarshauthor.com. I'm also on Twitter, jjmarsh1, and I've got a Facebook page, JJ Marsh Author again. So that's where you can find me. Thank you very much.